Hi friends, this is Carmen. Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. My channel is all about succulents and cacti and houseplants in an apartment setting. So if that's something that interests you and you want to learn a little bit more about, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below before you leave and give this video a like if it gives you some value. Today I have a repotting, but I'm going to be repotting some propagations that have some roots and are ready to be repotted into some soil. I'm also going to do one pot that has a little bit of roots growing out the bottom that's ready for something a little bit bigger and some fresh soil. So stay tuned and we'll get some repotting done. Let's get to it. Okay, so let me put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. I've got two water propagations that I'm going to be repotting. The first one is this Philodendron Brasil. Now you might remember the Brazil that I got at Lowe's, I think it was. That was such a great deal. I'll put the link of that up above here. And it was a huge plant, is a huge plant. And these are cuttings from that plant. And these are actually going to be going, once I get them all potted up, they're going to be going to my son and my daughter-in-law. They love the plant so much they wanted something that was that they could hang. So I'm going to give them this plant in a new pot, fresh soil, and also a hanger to hang it with. So I think you can probably see there the roots. It had a lot of arrow roots. These trails that I cut had a lot of arrow roots, so it's been in this water propagation, I'd say now probably about 6 weeks. It started off slow, but once it did finally take off, the roots were coming in good. Now this one you probably remember because I have potted this in soil before. This is a Hoya Obovata that a wonderful subscriber sent to me from New York, and she sent it, actually purchased it from an Etsy shop, and she was told it was rooted. Kind of. It was rooted. It had maybe 2 little roots on it. I did put it in the soil and I kept an eye on it, and I had it in there for a couple of weeks, and I took it out to check on it, and it was starting to grow some more very small roots, but I was still very unsure about how it was going to do in soil. So I took it out and I put it in some water propagation, and it's been in here 2 weeks. And look at that. Definitely a lot quicker than if I had left it in the soil. So this is going back into a pot. I'm actually going to put it in a ceramic pot, not a terracotta pot. But this Hoya Obovata is doing great. So I'm happy to put that back up into a container. So since I have that one out already, let's go ahead and start off on this Hoya. Now for that, I have this ceramic pot here with this bluebird on it. I've had this for a long time. This is a pot that I got at Goodwill years ago. I drilled a hole in, and I had something else in here. I can't remember what it was, but I have had it laying around, and I thought that the Hoya would do well in it. I think it'll look good in it. We'll see. I think the roots are big enough for it. So I've got my soil here. This is the same mix that I had been using in my last, I've got some moss in here, in my last video, repotting video, and it is kind of a mix of the Della Tank soil plus some reuse soil that I'm repurposing basically, and added a little bit more filler to it. This already has some fertilizer in it and worm castings and all sorts of nutrients in it. It's nice and chunky for all of these, the Hoyas, the philodendrons. So that's going to be good. Oh, yes, I'm also going to pot this Philodendron Neon because it's got roots growing out the bottom. So it's time for some fresh soil and a bigger pot. I've got a coffee filter here. Put that at the bottom. Need to fill this up quite a bit. Somebody's under the table. Oh no, she's over there by the chair. Wonder who that could be. I have been getting so many good comments on the Rosy Cam. You guys seem to love the Rosy Cam, and I really, you know what? I was a little bit hesitant about it, you know, as I thought, oh, it's going to be ridiculous, you know. But I actually do enjoy making the Rosy Cam segments. I mean, they're only 15 seconds. I try to limit them to 15 seconds. You know, I don't want her to take over the whole channel, you know. But I do enjoy making them. And there are lots of times where she's doing stuff and I don't have my phone or camera nearby where I can catch her in her acts. But she's been doing really well. And you guys have seen some segments with her that she has her little sweater on. Because she does get chilly at night, so I put it on her at night. There we go. Well, you know, maybe I should have put it with the oh well, it'll grow that way. I would say I should have put it facing this bird, but that's okay. And the leaves are nice and plump. It's got some good speckling. I am gonna give it a nice little dose of water. You reuse the same water. This light bulb vessel that I have here for propagation. This is a thrift store find too. And it's coming out the bottom. Yeah. I have this here to catch water. If I'm watering something here at the table. So that's that. There you go. One last look before I put her down. She's doing real good. Okay. So this one, you just kind of grab them underneath like a ponytail. Oh boy. It's already a full-size plant. I mean, you could buy this at a store, you know, in a 6-inch pot and pay, you know, I don't know, a lot of money for it. But yeah, it's got some good roots in there. And these aerial roots, just take a good look at them, make sure there's no dead ones that come off. There's a couple. So for that one, the Philodendron Brasil, I'm going to use this pot here. This is the pot, I got this at, I think, the tag's not on it, Hobby Lobby. And I originally had my Philodendron Birkin in here. The Birkin is in another pot in ICU because it's still not doing well. I had to give it a cut back and it's still in ICU. So I took it out of this one and I'm going to use this one for the Philodendron Brasil, and it's going to go in this, it's not actually a macrame, it's more of a twine type of hanger that I'm going to give to my son so they can hang this philodendron wherever they choose to in their apartment. So this one also needs a lot of soil in it. The rest of my coffee filter in there. Good. I may have to get some more soil, yeah, because And let me get the rest. I do have always another tray handy. This is also good soil that I've mixed. I always have a couple of trays handy. Never know when you're gonna do a quick repot. Sorry for the shaking. Just getting that soil down in there in between the roots and vines and get them all settled. And I'm going to give it a drink of water too. Sorry, that's shaking. And I try to use the same water it was in. Oh. The soil is dry. There it comes. It's starting to. Takes a second or two because the soil is very dry. And that's one of the reasons that you want to water your water propagations as soon as you put them in soil, because they're going from a wet situation into dry soil. So to avoid the shock, you want to keep that soil evenly moist the first couple of weeks, and then after that you can kind of back off the watering a little bit to a more regular schedule of, you know, checking the soil with a moisture meter to see, you know, if it's dry and it needs soil. I'm going to use that for something else. So this Philodendron Neon doesn't look too neon. I've had it hanging over here by my grow light, and it's been in this soil for a while. Now this was one of my first mixtures of doing my own soil, and I wanted to use the cocoa coir. And when I ordered it, I ordered the wrong one, and I actually ordered mulch instead of the finer cocoa coir. I ordered cocoa coir mulch, so it was real chunky. Well, I went ahead and used it anyways, and this seems to have done well in it, but it's been in this for more than a year, so I think it's time. You know, the roots are coming out the bottom, so I think it's time to take it out of this and put it in some other mixture. And I'm thinking of using this one here, because the trails aren't long enough that it really requires it to be hung. So I can put it in this taller one and then just put it on a table. So I'm going to take it out and put the old soil in here. Wow. Okay. This started off as a little 2-inch pot, and I want to say I got it from Hertz. I can't remember, but I think I got it from Hertz. This is a little bit wet. I must have watered it recently. You can see there that the roots are nice and long. Yeah, so it's nice and wet. Use a napkin for this one, and I'm just going to use my hands. Gets the job done quicker. push them all out. And I'll wrap them around. I'm not going to water this one because this was already in soil, and I can't remember when I watered it, but it must have not been too long ago because the soil was moist. So the roots are already moist. So it doesn't require me to water it right away. But I like this because now I can put it on a tabletop. See, they're not super long. This has been a slow grower for me, so perhaps moving the location of it will help. I'm going to try and put it then probably in my living room in front of the patio door. See how it does there. I've got room on the table for this Philodendron Neon. Isn't that pretty? It does have some of the neon there. I'm really into neon lately, and I love this, you know, vintage looking terracotta pot. So let me go ahead and put these in the areas that I'm going to have them, and I'll show you how they look, okay? Are you ready to go for your walk? Yeah? Your afternoon walk? Yeah? Come on, let's go. Okay, so I have them set up here in front of my patio door, and here is the Philodendron Neon. You see, it's a perfect size for just being on a tabletop with this taller pot. And then right back here is the Hoya Obovata. And I think it's going to like it there. With its new root system, or more root system, it's going to be very, very happy there. So I'm not worried about it. It's next to its other Hoya sisters. Okay, so that's where those are. And then temporarily I've hung this Philodendron Brasil right here until I can get it to my son's house in the next few days. So I think she's going to do great for them. Both of my kids are getting much more into plants, which is nice. I love that. It tells me that they were actually listening to me. So this one is going to do just wonderful. That's the Philodendron Brasil. And I'm actually thinking of taking even more cuttings from the mother plant and do another propagation, maybe give that one to my mom. So that's it for today, friends. Thanks so much for joining me again. If you enjoy these types of videos of you know, potting up and propagations and such, please do give the video a like, and make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. I'll see you in the next one. Have a blessed day, friends. Bye-bye now.